Welcome back to my series on signing up for Medicare. I'm documenting my journey to becoming eligible for Medicare. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to Medicare before. Yeah, that was something for old people. But now that I'm within striking distance, about 6 months away, I'd better figure it out. And I'm bringing you along with me. So far, I've looked at the different parts of Medicare, the ABCs and D parts, and took a look at the enrollment periods, including your initial enrollment period of 7 months. Be sure to watch those episodes to get caught up. Today we're tackling a question I hear all the time. What if I'm still working when I turn 65? If that's you, or you're planning to work past 65, this video is crucial. So let's dive in and clear up some confusion. All right, the big question, do I still need to enroll in Medicare if I'm working? Well, just because you turn 65 doesn't automatically mean you have to sign up for Medicare. Your decision depends on a few key factors. The main things to consider are the size of your employer, whether you have employer-sponsored health coverage, and if you want to keep your current coverage. All right, let's break that down. Employer size does matter. Believe it or not, the size of your company plays a big role in your Medicare decision. If your employer has 20 or more employees, your employer-sponsored health plan is usually considered primary coverage. Medicare would be secondary. If your employer has fewer than 20 employees, Medicare is typically primary and your employer plan is secondary. This distinction is crucial because it affects whether you need to enroll in Medicare at 65 to avoid penalties. So if you have a large employer, you have a few options. So if you work for a larger company, that's the one with 20 or more employees, you generally have 3 choices. Keep your employer coverage and delay Medicare. Keep your employer coverage and get Part A, usually premium free. Or you can drop your employer coverage and get full Medicare coverage. Most folks in this situation at least sign up for Part A since it's usually free. But be careful. If you have a health savings account, an HSA, enrolling in any part of Medicare means you can no longer contribute to it. If your company has fewer than 20 employees, you usually need to enroll in Medicare when you turn 65, even if you're still working. That's because Medicare becomes your primary insurance in this case, and failing to enroll could leave you with coverage gaps and potential penalties down the road. All right, here's something people often forget. Your decision doesn't just affect you. If your spouse is covered under your employer plan, consider how changing your coverage might impact them. And be on the lookout for the COBRA trap. It's a big warning. COBRA coverage doesn't count as employer coverage when it comes to Medicare enrollment rules. If you leave your job and take COBRA, make sure you still enroll in Medicare on time to avoid penalties. And how about the old special enrollment period? Yeah, there is good news there. If you've been covered by a qualifying employer plan, you get a special enrollment period when that coverage ends. This gives you 8 months to sign up for Medicare without penalties. All right, how about a few action steps? Here's what you should do. Number 1, talk to your HR department about your employer coverage and how it works with Medicare. Consider the costs of your employer plan versus Medicare, and think about your health needs and those of your spouse. Plan ahead for when you do retire. In our next video, we'll compare original Medicare and Medicare Advantage plans to help you understand your coverage options there. And remember, there's no one-size-fits-all answer here. Your situation is unique, and that's okay. The important thing is to understand your options so you can make the best choice for you and your family. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next episode.